Hi, and welcome to RJ Academy. And today I will teach you Class 12 Economics, Chapter National Income and Related Aggregates. But first, let's talk about survival in the business world. 10 years ago, Nokia produced a mobile phone that sat in almost every home. When operating systems like Android entered the market, Nokia ignored the shift and stuck to their existing models. Their market share collapsed. Contrast that with WhatsApp. By recognizing early that users wanted mobile data-driven chat applications, they secured a massive user base before competitors could react. The crucial difference between these companies is their understanding of the business environment. This diagram illustrates what that means. It is the totality of all external forces, institutions, and factors, competitors, government rules, technological shifts, and consumer fashion, that exist outside a company's direct control, but dictate how it must operate. You cannot control these incoming pressures. You have to adapt to them. If a business fails to adjust its operations to the environment outside its walls, it will eventually shut down. This chart shows how we categorize those external pressures. They fall into two distinct groups: specific forces and general forces. Specific forces impact your daily operations directly, but they usually only affect your business. If your main supplier refuses to deliver raw materials, or a fire breaks out in your warehouse, your competitors remain untouched. You absorb the damage alone. General forces impact every single company in an industry at the exact same time. If the government announces a total ban on the sale of a specific product category, the resulting wave hits you and all of your competitors equally. Understanding these broad general forces allows companies to claim a first-mover advantage. By analyzing the environment, a business can spot a rising trend, like the demand for mobile internet, and introduce a product before anyone else, capturing maximum profit. It also provides early warning signals against threats. When Facebook scanned the social media environment, they identified Instagram's rising popularity as a direct danger to their dominance. They neutralized that threat by acquiring Instagram outright, turning a potential hazard into a permanent asset. Mastering environmental scanning means you stop playing defense against sudden threats and start actively taking territory when new opportunities arise. To systematically track these general forces, businesses rely on 5 main dimensions. We remember them using the acronym SLEPT. S stands for social forces. This covers shifts in society's traditions, values, and lifestyle trends. When a population develops a growing awareness around physical fitness, it creates massive new demand for gyms, organic foods, and sports apparel. L is for legal forces. This dimension strictly involves past laws, court orders, and mandatory regulations. A manufacturer printing a heavy black and white warning label on their packaging is directly responding to a legal compliance mandate. E represents economic forces. These are macroeconomic factors like inflation, national GDP, and interest rates. If banks make loans cheaper to obtain, consumers have more purchasing power, and businesses see immediate spikes in demand. P stands for political forces. This involves the stability of the governing body and its attitude toward business. National initiatives designed to offer tax incentives, or conversely, a period of heavy political instability, dictate how safely a company can invest. Finally, T is for technological forces. New methods of production and digital advancements constantly render old models obsolete. The rise of e-commerce platforms forced traditional retail stores to entirely overhaul their sales strategies. Let's test your recognition. Suppose the government passes a strict new Anti-Pollution Act, forcing local factories to invest in cleaner equipment. Would you classify this as an economic, political, or legal force? The correct answer is legal. Because it involves an enforced act and a mandatory rule governing operations, it falls strictly under the legal dimension, even though it was enacted by politicians. The SLEPT framework functions as a radar system. It organizes the noise of the outside world into clear signals, letting you track industry-altering shifts long before they reach your doorstep. For a final look at how these forces collide, we can examine a massive, sudden shock to the business environment: the 2016 demonetization in India. By stripping large currency notes of their legal tender status, the government severely restricted unaccounted cash, shaking up the legal and economic dimensions. Simultaneously, the lack of physical cash forced millions to adopt digital wallets and online banking overnight, creating a permanent surge in the technological dimension. This summary matrix lays out our core structure. The business environment is the total sum of external pressures. We scan those pressures using the social, legal, economic, political, and technological dimensions. Identifying changes early secures the first mover advantage. Notes for this chapter are in the description. Catch you next time. Remember, in the business world, long-term survival rarely goes to the strongest companies. It goes to the ones most capable of adapting to a changing environment.